Hey guys, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Got a fun one from the 80s today. We'll learn how to do Bad Medicine by Bon Jovi. So there's some just really cool guitar riffs in this one. Kind of rather unique ones too. And then a killer solo from Richie Sambora as well. So we got a lot to get into today. Before I get into it though, please subscribe to the channel if you have not already and ring the notification bell so you know when I listen to all my videos so you can like and comment on them, all that good stuff. And if you really want to support anything that I do here on YouTube, please join my Guitar Academy. It's the best way to support anything that I do online. It also gives you full access to all my guitar courses containing everything from complete beginner courses to more advanced courses in technique, improvisation, ear training, theory, guitar tone, you name it. I got a lot of stuff there, and you get personalized support from me. So please click the link below. You got a free 7-day trial to the Academy, so you can check it out and see if it's something that would interest you. All right, so let's jump into the song. I'm in standard tuning here, and we have this little intro that starts the whole thing. There's a couple of later guitar parts, but the main one that you hear is just these harmonics at the 12th fret on the B and the high E together. And then it goes into this little intro thing. So this whole thing is you're gonna do this a lot. It's the main chorus of the song is this. So we have this, you pick the 2nd fret on the low E string, and bend it up a half step, and then come back down to the 2nd fret without the bend. And then you basically hit an E power chord. First starting with just the low E string, 2nd fret on the A and the D together. And then you add the top 2 strings, the high E string and the B string. So you don't want to hit the G. You don't hit that. So I'm muting that the G string with the kind of the bottom of my ring finger there. So you just go. So I just let that ring. And then we get into this opening chorus, which is really part of it's just really the chorus riff of the song. It looks like this. All right, so that starts off the same thing again. So you'll see sometimes I'll pick it, you bend up a whole step, it's half step, sorry, on that 2nd fret. Then I'll pick it when I release it, and then so it's like, so it sounds like this, which you'll see him play more kind of the later concerts that he did with Bon Jovi. He'll just kind of do most of like 3-2-0 a lot, but on the recording and some of the earlier videos of him playing it right after it was recorded, you can see him, there's a slight little bend there, so he's bending up to that note, and then back down without the bend note. So you can go back and forth between the two, but I think it sounds better with the bend anyway, and it's more authentic to the original recording. So we have this. So you do that little, and then go into that full chord with remember, mute that G string, and then it sort of then to an A power chord. You can play that like this if you want, and then we're back to that big hit power chord hit. So he keeps during the chorus at least when he hits this, he'll hit that right after it. So we have this so far. Then we just go back to the A as well. So that I was just playing second on the A power chord a little bit. Then the open A string, 2nd fret on the A string, and then back down to that riff on the low E string. So I have this. Then it kind of starts over again. But we have this new thing goes. So it kind of starts that riff. And then jump up here and grab this power chord off the 5th fret of the D, 7th of the G. Play that, slide down at 1 fret, and then down 2 frets to the 2nd fret. So then we're back to that A chord again, and the same. And then back to the A again. And then once again, going from this A chord here, we have the 2nd fret on the A string, and then that same ending riff. So it's better. You can kind of see that it's kind of the same riff done twice, and there's just a little variation thrown in there the 2nd time around. So I'll play through it, the whole thing, the whole chorus riff slow that they play the intro here, so you can kind of just, it's better to hear it maybe and follow along that way. So we have this. All right, so it's really kind of based around mostly just an E and an A, but he kind of really keeps it interesting. Those little things, and then so it's just weird how it's kind of phrased. So you really have to know the song by ear pretty well to kind of phrase the timing of everything correctly. All right, and then we get to this riff that ends that basically ends the chorus section in the intro, but is also the first half of the verse. Looks like this. All right, so this right here, once again, when you see him play it live these days, he'll kind of pick it. Which you can do fine as well too. I believe he's hybrid picking it on the recording because it has that really punchy sound to it. But if you've got your muting in check, there's no reason that you can't just pick it like he does live that I've seen recently. But what's going on here? So we're holding this 9th fret on the D string, and we have a moving bass line under it. So let's not think about that note for a second. We'll start here at the 7th fret on the A string, then play 10, 7, 10 on the low E string, then 7, 10, 7 on the A. So we have this. And then we're going to add 3 more notes right here. You hit that E again, the 7th fret of the A string, and then go 10, 7 on the low E again. So this. All right, so that's the moving bass line. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to pick this note on the D string with it each time. So it's easier, you can make that punchy, snappy sound by just doing it with picking the low note with your pick and the high note with your middle finger. Or like I said, he does, pick it too, which is just picking across the 2 strings. But obviously, when you get to where the notes are on the bass notes on the low E string, you need to really use that A string good. So if you can do that, just pick it. It's fine. So, all right. Then we go from here. This kind of slides into the 5th fret on the low E, and then you play the 7th fret on the A string. And then take that shape that you have, this power chord, this A power chord, and just move it back 2 frets to a G power chord. Pick that. So we had this. And then back. And then, so just in the intro there, that's where it stops. So just kind of go through the bass line. And stop right there. And then we started back over with the actual verse of the song now, where the vocals come in. So we're going to continue with this same kind of pattern, but it kind of develops into more stuff. So it looks like this. Into the pre-chorus there. So it's the same riff to start. So it just does it a couple of times, so that same riff that we did earlier. And then we go into this. So that's just power chords here. We're going to be playing the 5th fret on the low E, 7th on the A. I'm still hybrid picking it, but like you said, just if you want to pick it just normally, that's fine too. That's what he does a lot live anyway. So we have this power chord at the 5th fret, then the 3rd fret, open E, with the 2nd fret obviously on the A string, which is the open E power chord. Then back up, 3rd fret power chord, and then back up to the A power chord. And then you kind of slide into this A again, go through the chords again. So I kind of slid into the A, hit it again, down to 3, 0. So this way, this. And then you're going to end it, this little section right here, which is just sliding into that A power chord, hit it again, and then go to the G. So this. All right, then back to this riff that we did earlier. And then we're going to go to the B. So, because this is really based off of like E to the A, and then back to E, and then to the 5 chord, the B. So off this B chord, so what's going on here? We're back to playing a note that's kind of, we're going to continue with a hit that's on the D string, this 4th fret this time. And we have a moving bass line under it. So that moving bass line goes 2, 0 on the A string, down to 2 on the low E string, and then back to the A, so it's, then back to the 2. Then you're going to pick that again, then the open A, over to 2 on the low E string, and then back to that, right back to that B note that's at the 2nd fret of the A string. So we have this. So all together. All right, so then we get to the pre-chorus there. So when we get back to this, all right, so this pre-chorus looks like this. So it just kind of hits there's that little riff, that bend, 3, and okay, bend up to 3, 2, 0, And then you just hit the lower power chord. He doesn't really add it in it until the chorus. So it's repeat. Then we have this. So we had this open E string a couple times, and then it goes to an F sharp major chord. So that's just second fret on the low E, fourth fret on the A, fourth on the D, third on the G. Then you go to a D chord, really a D power chord. So you can leave out the note on the high E string, just to open A. Well, you can't hit the open A string there with it too. It might sound a little bit bigger, but we have just the open D really, second on the G, third on the B. Then do a B power chord off the second fret of the A string. And then we're to the same chorus we did earlier. So, same riff that we did in the intro of the song. Nothing new to learn there, it's just the chorus riff. And then we had this, well, I just call it the bridge riff. It happens a couple times. This first time only happens once. All right, so that's just gonna be the third fret on the low E string. And then you're gonna have the third fret on the B and the high E together. So we're gonna first start with this muted, couple of muted hits there on the third fret of the low E string. And then you're gonna hit those double stops here, the third fret on the B and the high E together. So that's kind of the pattern. So a couple times on the low one, then hit the top two. Just like that. And then the third time, just hit the low E string once. And then the top. So we have this. Just like that. And then take that up 2 frets. So it's the same exact thing, 2 frets higher. And then we have this. So that's just kind of really the 4th fret on the G, 5th fret on the B. So hit that a couple times. Then back 2 frets. Then back to the 4th fret. And then just kind of going back to the verse of the song, he just hits that open G string. A little bit of whammy bar stuff on it. So we go back to the same exact verse, same pre-chorus, same exact chorus again, so nothing new there. And then we get to this bridge riff again. The bridge riff is pretty much the same, except it's just done twice instead of once. And that last time I played it, you can hit a pitch harmonic on the open G, wherever you want there. And then we basically takes us into the solo section. So there is a rhythm guitar part for the solo section. It's pretty simple. It's just really, he's just kind of chugging around the A. Just an A power chord, then down to the E power chord. Then back to the A. And then to a B. So it's just a lot of 1-4-5 stuff. But when we get to this B, there is a little chromatic thing at the end. So we just have this B, and then it starts going up chromatically. C, it's the C sharp a couple times, and then just keep going up. 5, 6, 7. So that's going on at the very, very end of the solo there. So, but a pretty simple stuff that's over. If you have a second guitar player, they can do that. But for the most part, the solo is the most important part. I'm going to play through that for you, and then I'll show you how to play it note for note. So here we go. All right, so some fun stuff there. So we're going to start here with this little. So that's going to be playing double stops here at the 14th fret across the G and the B. And you're going to be pulling off to double stops at the 12th fret across the G and the B. So you're picking those two, pulling off to those two notes. And then going over here to the 14th fret there on the D string. So he just repeats that for a little bit. And then at the end, he bends up the 14 double stops real quick, and then kind of resolves into that 12. So with this. All right, then we have this next raise. So that's going to be a bend at the 15th fret there on the B string. Then you're going to go to the 12th fret on the high E string. Then play 15, 12 on the B. And then 14, 12 on the G. Play this. Then over to 14 on the D. So play this. Sorry. Then what we're going to do is roll over to the 14 on the G string, then back to the 14 on the D. So, then hammer 12 to 13 on the G. And then play 14, 12, 14 on the D. And you hit that 14 again with a little pinch harmonic. So all together slowly. A little quicker. Here we got a little bit of chaos. He's going to be picking the B string. So what he's doing here, he's just dancing along the open B and hitting pinch harmonics on it. So you're just going to pinch harmonics down to different harmonic node points on the B string. So just like that. And he's reaching over and grabbing his whammy bar. And just kind of doing a bar dip on each one. So you can kind of like do it with all in one hand. All right, so then what he does here, there's a little in like that. So he lets the B string dip and come back, and then hits the open B and high E strings into a bend at the 15th fret there on the high E string. So that's kind of like that whole section where he's going. Or you can just reach over. My bar kind of swings all over the place, so I have to grab it first. All right, and then we have this fast little run that ends it. It looks like this. So what's going on there? We have, first we're going to start here with this 14th fret on the G string. And then we're going to kind of continue up. We're going to play 12, 14, 15 on both the G, the high, G, the B, and the high E. So we go. So that's the first run. Then what you're going to do is you're just going to repeat the notes on the B and the high E strings again. So we have. And then go up to the 15th fret. We're going to do a little chromatic stuff here. We're going to play 15, 16, 17 on the D, over to 15, 16, 17 on the high E string, and to a bend there at the 17th root. So the whole fast lick is. Richie likes to end his solos with his quick little fast licks that are kind of difficult to decipher, but if you slow them down, they kind of make more sense when it comes to like the fingering patterns that he's going across. But anyway, it's a lot easier when you slow it down. So that's about it for the solo. Now it goes back into this breakdown section that, you know, there's kind of no guitar. Then it comes back in on this B chord. So it's just kind of chugging on a B major chord. You do get the third in there now, so it's not just a power chord. Or we can play the full bar across, or the bar across the fourth fret of the D, G, and B with that B root note. And then hit an E power chord. Fun riff to play. Anyway, so by the way, I was checking out the single version of this, where we just go into this chorus here, the same chorus riff that we did before, and just fade out. So that's how I'm going to do it. I know there's an extra outro section where he's like, wait a minute. I'm not doing that. I think that's on the album, but it's just a single version where we're just kind of repeating this chorus riff out. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. It's a really fun song to play. And I've got some interesting techniques in it, from how that phrasing of the main chorus riff is laid out is a bit tricky and interesting, how he does these little bends in it. And then we got that hybrid picking stuff going for the verses. And then the solo is just really cool too. So hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon for GuitarLessons365.com.